Hey guys, it's Story. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I got for my birthday. So this is going to be a birthday book haul. Surprisingly, I've actually never done one of these before, but this is actually the most books I've ever gotten for my birthday. So of course I wanted to do it. I have 8 books to haul today. I literally have like 200 books on my shelf that I haven't read yet. So I try to get other things, but this year it just happened. Everyone got me books, so I'm really excited to go over the ones I got. Some of these I have wanted forever, and I'm just really excited to talk about them and show you what I got. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm gonna start with the book that my mom got me first, and that is The Atlas Six by Olivia Blake. I've been saying Olivia Blake, so if you haven't heard anything about The Atlas Six yet, where have you been? This has been the book I've wanted the most for the past year. I wanted it before it was publicly published, I guess. It was self-published at first by the author, and so now she has a publisher, and they did a whole new cover, which is beautiful. I like the original cover too. And these are the end pages. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what a lot of these books are about. I kind of know, but not really. I do know this is about a secret society of magicians. It's probably gonna have some historical element, I would think. I think it's 6 people every year or something like that, or every decade are chosen to be in this society. So obviously we're gonna follow a magician that is coming to the secret society for the first time. I actually thought this was more of a magical school setting, so I'm really interested now since it is a secret society. I kind of wanted that kind of magical school setting with a lot of characters and typical dark academia stuff, but I feel like I'm still gonna get that here, and it's not super big, so I feel like if this gets me into dark academia this fall, then I will just devour through all my dark academia books because I have a ton I have never started. So yeah, I've been wanting this for literally ever. Next, I'm gonna show the books that I got myself. Yes, I did get some books for myself. I actually bought myself a facial for my birthday as well. It's the first time I did that, and that was lovely. But there are 2 books I really wanted, and I was gonna wait to see if I got them. My friend said that she was going to buy me this book, actually one of these books, but I went ahead and bought it myself. The first one is Kingdom of the Cursed by, of course, Carrie Maniscalco. So this is the sequel to Kingdom of the Wicked. I don't know what the series is called. I think it's just called the Wicked series or Kingdom of the Wicked series, but I just finished this a few days back, probably 4 or so days ago, and I love this book. 5 out of 5 stars for me. Go follow me on Goodreads if we aren't already friends. I friend anyone that sends me a friend request for the most part, so look at that map. Yes, love this book so much. So if you don't know what Kingdom of the Wicked is, I would show my first copy, but it's not near me right now. Basically, we are following our main character who gets swept up in this world of the Wicked. The Wicked brothers, they are royal. They are all princes of hell. It's a play on the 7 deadly sins, and it's set in Italy and Sicily, and so it's just an Italian inspired fantasy. The first book is set in Italy, and then this one is set somewhere else. I can't say because it's a spoiler, but I will say when you go into it, please know that the first book is young adult and it takes place in our own world, but this second book is new adult. It gets a little spicier and it's set in its own world, so it goes from young adult urban fantasy to new adult high fantasy. So I'm really excited to see what we're gonna get out of the third book. If it's gonna be adult, that would just be iconic, I think, because I've never read a series like that where it changes the age category and the type of fantasy it is, the subgenre. I've loved Carrie Maniscalco's writing so far, so I feel like I'm gonna be picking up more of her books in the future. Yeah, this book just delved more into the world, which I really liked. Things got steamier, there's more at stake, more mystery. It's definitely one of those series where there are plot holes on plot holes, so if you don't like plot holes, do not read this, but I think it's amazing. It's perfect for us paranormal romance girls, us, dark fantasy girls. You just gotta pick it up, okay? 5 out of 5 stars. This and the first book, oh my god, I'm gonna have to choose which one's my favorite book of the year. Oh my god. So far, these are my favorite books of the year, so just just read it if you haven't already. Next up is Normal People by Sally Rooney. I also got this because I have been wanting to read Sally Rooney for the longest time. I've just heard so many good things about her books, and I know that this is now a Hulu series as well, so I figured since it's literally so tiny and I've heard so much about it, so I thought I would pick it up, read it, and then watch the show afterwards. But honestly, if I like this book, I'm probably going to read all of her books because they're all pretty short. I feel like I could get through them quickly, and I just feel like this would be a good summer read. I don't know. I believe we are following a male and a female who went to high school together, but they were in different like groups, posses, what are those called? Cliques. So one is more of a loner and one is popular. It says that Normal People is the story of mutual fascination, friendship, and love. It takes us from that first conversation to the years beyond in the company of two people who try to stay apart but find that they can't. I actually thought this book was that movie with Anne Hathaway. I don't remember what the name of it's called, but if you know what I'm talking about, please let me know what the name of that movie is called. But it's like two friends, a male and a female, and you go through their life with them from when they're really young to like much older, and they just like won't be together even though they both love each other. For the longest time I thought this book was just that movie, and it's not at all. But yeah, I'm actually planning to pick this up really soon, so let me know what you thought about this if you've already read it. Also, let me know what you thought about the Atlas 6 as well, because I see a lot of good things about it, but I really don't know that much about it, if you know what I mean. Next is a sequel I've been anticipating ever since I found out it was coming out like a month before its release, and that is Family of Liars by E. Lockhart. Not only do I have one copy, but I have two copies. I got two copies for my birthday. One was from my boyfriend and then one was from my friend. So I'm actually going to be picking a different book as his gift. We're going to return this one. But I have an idea of what I'm gonna get, so I'll let you know what that is here in a second. But if you have never heard of We Were Liars before by E. Lockhart, again, welcome to the bookish community. I have a feeling if you're more of like a book talk person, you haven't heard of it, but if you're a true like booktube OG sub, then you know about We Were Liars because it was one of the booktube books like way back when, before I even started making videos. I read it a couple summers back. I loved it. A lot of people are very strong in their love or hate for that book. I really liked it because there's plot twists, and I just felt like I thought I knew what was going on and I really didn't. And not to spoil it, everyone knows there's a plot twist in it, but you don't know what it's gonna be, obviously. So yeah, I enjoyed it, and it was a really quick read at the time, so I figured I might as well pick this up just to see where it goes. I feel like we're going to dive more into the family and their dynamic, obviously. So our main character comes from a pretty wealthy family, and there's a lot of people in their family. So her grandfather was rich and he had his own island where the family vacations every summer, and they all have their own house on the island, and so she grew up with her cousins, and it's just like a lot of like, yeah, young summer things, I guess, with like a lot of family dynamics and a lot of mystery. And like I said, yeah, there's a plot twist in there that was just really iconic for me. It made me view the book like so differently, and I've never had a book experience like that before where I just, you know, feel a certain way, and at the end I see the entire book differently because of a plot twist. So that's just never happened to me before, so that's why I gave the first book, if not 4.5 stars, then definitely 4. I might have even given it 5 stars, actually, I can't remember. But yeah, so this was just released not that long ago. I haven't seen anyone's thoughts on it yet either, so I'm excited to go into it without knowing anything yet. I'm pretty sure the other book I'm going to choose as my replacement for that book is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. So I still haven't read Crooked Kingdom yet. I did a Six of Crows readathon. Was that last year or the year before? I actually can't remember. I think it was 2 autumns ago. So yeah, like 2 falls ago. I did a readathon and read it for the first time. So I'll link my vlog down below the first time I read Six of Crows. It was an experience for sure. I watched that vlog myself. I watched it back one time because it was just like so interesting to go through the experience again, because I just love Six of Crows so much. But I am saving Crooked Kingdom for the fall. I will definitely be reading it because I'm in a fantasy mood now, and the last time I tried to pick up Crooked Kingdom, I read the first like 30-40 pages and I was just not in a fantasy mindset at the time. I had to put it down. So I'm really excited to read Crooked Kingdom, especially before the next season of Shadow and Bone comes out on Netflix, and then after that I'll be able to read King of Scars. So if you're not in the Grishaverse world, there's really no reason for me to explain this book. It's basically the book that comes after Crooked Kingdom, and that's the Six of Crows duology, where you're following these 6 different people in the Grishaverse. It is a Russian inspired fantasy. I don't hear that as often as I usually do, so I hope that's still the case. I'm pretty sure it's Russian inspired. So yeah, it's its own world. It's the Grishaverse. It's the same as the Shadow and Bone trilogy, if you don't already know what that is. But yeah, let me go ahead and get to the next one since this one's kind of hard to explain, since it's kind of like the third book of this world, I guess. Next is one I'm also really excited about, and that is A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. So when I first saw reviews of this book coming up, they were really good. Like, people really enjoyed this. Quickly after, I started seeing a lot of people really mad about this series. I don't know what the deal is with the series. I don't know the actual controversy. I just remember people like vetoing it, you know, like trying to cancel it, I guess. Then I started seeing good reviews pop up for it again, so I just like don't know what to think when it comes to reviews of this book. Apparently people really hate it or they really love it. So of course that makes me want to read it even more. I'm gonna get, you know, my magical academic setting in this book that I thought I was gonna get in the Atlas 6. So yeah, I saw this in a bookstore, the same bookstore I was at with my friend, and so I picked this up for myself. I saw the sequel was there too, and I almost got it, but I was like, you know what, let me make sure that I like this book first before I buy the second one, since there are so many opposing reviews. But I have a feeling it's definitely dark academia. I have a feeling it's gonna be that sort of like Harry Potter-esque type of book, and I have been wanting to reread Harry Potter so bad that I think I'm gonna read this first and see if that kind of settles me down, and then if I still want Harry Potter, then obviously I'll start reading Harry Potter. But I have a feeling it's going to be hate to love too, because the entire synopsis is talking about a guy in her class that she doesn't like and can't stand, so I guess they're like enemies, but we know that's probably gonna be enemies to lovers is usually what that means. So yeah, I'm excited to read this. I do think I'm gonna read it pretty soon as well. It's probably, if not at the end of summer, probably the beginning of fall. Next are a couple books that my boyfriend's family got me actually for my birthday, and the first one is Wild by Cheryl Strayed. So I know this is the book that Reese Witherspoon made the movie off of, and then she's the main character in the movie as well. So I know she goes backpacking on like a trail or through the wilderness. I never knew what the trail was, but reading the synopsis, it is the Pacific Crest Trail. And it's funny because I know someone that is from my hometown that did this, but you basically backpack from like Southern California, basically where the border is, all the way up to the top of Washington state. So you literally are backpacking the length of America, but out west, instead of like, you know, through all the cities on the East Coast, I guess. I have a feeling this is going to be similar to a like Eat, Pray, Love type of book, where, you know, the main character is going through a journey, really trying to like find herself through these different experiences and these different locations, and then obviously she does, and there's a lot of life lessons and philosophical topics, and I just know it's gonna be my shit, like, because I loved Eat, Pray, Love, loved Eat, Pray, Love. So then the last book I got for my birthday is The Alice Network by Kate Quinn. So I really don't know much about this either. As soon as I saw it, I thought historical fiction. It was in Reese's book club. As you can see, it has the sticker. And yeah, I feel like I've kind of seen it around. I'm not big on historical fiction, if I'm being honest. I do have a few books, and there are a couple like at the top of my list that I do want to get to, like The Lovely War, and maybe that will send me down a historical fiction path, but I just never crave historical fiction, because I feel like the times I would read it would be in the fall or the winter. But honestly, in the fall, I'm looking for like spooky, dark academia, and then once it's winter, I read strictly usually like urban fantasy and high fantasy. So I'm just like, I don't know, there's just not a time for me to read historical fiction, I guess. But I do really like magical realism, and almost always magical realism will have an historical aspect. So that's usually when I read like historical fiction, is when it has magical realism in it, and I don't think this is gonna have magical realism at all, to be honest. It looks like we are following a female in the aftermath of World War II, but then we're going back to 1950, 1 year into the Great War as well. So we're going between two different perspectives in the midst of two different wars. So that's definitely interesting. But yeah, I have a feeling this is probably going to sit on my bookshelf at least for a little bit, just because if I am going to read historical fiction, I do have a couple books in front of it. But everything else I've gotten for my birthday, like all of these books, I'm so excited for. Just earlier, I had to pick a new book up since I just finished one, and it was really hard for me to to figure out what to read. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I really appreciate it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to follow me elsewhere. If you have TikTok, my name is Storribook on TikTok. If you have Goodreads, I'm Storribook on there. And if you have Instagram, I'm Storribook on there as well. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm not as active on YouTube, and I've been more active in other places. So let's be friends over there if you aren't already. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, if you feel like it. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.